Alright, let's try to review Beau Is Afraid. Now before we get too far along in the review, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as it's much appreciated and it helps the show stay alive. And if you haven't seen Beau Is Afraid and would still like to, make sure you pause now and return later, as there may be several spoilers up ahead. That's right, this is your official spoiler alert. Beau Is Afraid focuses on our title character, Joaquin Phoenix, but it also has a really great supporting cast with the likes of Amy Ryan appearing, as well as Nathan Lane showing up and knocking it out of the park. Not to mention, there's some really great acting from our child actors playing the younger versions of our title character. And I'm talking specifically about Armin Nahapishan, who plays the younger Joaquin Phoenix, who, am I the only one who didn't realize that this is not a CGI person? I thought this was just Joaquin Phoenix getting de-aged Marvel style, but it turns out it's a real person. It's a real kid who just happens to look exactly like Joaquin Phoenix. It really blew my mind when I found out that was a real human being and not just Joaquin getting de-aged digitally. Beau Is Afraid also has some stunning cinematography. Everything in this movie looks beautiful. Every frame throughout the entire film is not only lined up and just angled perfectly, but it is just lit up in the most beautiful way. Anytime there is sunset lighting or just this golden lighting, day, night, it doesn't matter. Everything looks beautiful every single second of the movie. Not only that, but there's also animation getting woven in and out throughout the entire movie. It is a beautiful feast for the eyes. And so let's talk a little bit about what is Beau Is Afraid. With a runtime of just shy of 3 hours, 2 hours and 59 minutes, this is A24's longest running film so far, and it also shatters the previous biggest budget previously held by Everything Everywhere All at Once. Beau Is Afraid coming in at 35 mil, both written and directed by Ari Aster, who has a little bit of a reputation since he knocked out two of the most entertaining and disturbing films in recent history, Midsommar and Hereditary. And with Beau Is Afraid being described as a nightmarish comedy, I wasn't sure really what to expect. And one major thing that really caught me off guard is that this movie is funny. But it comes with this weird nervousness. Yes, it is funny. It is not just funny, it's really funny. And so although it is really funny and slapsticky at times, there's this weird undertone of just pure horror that's just waiting right underneath to just spring at you. It's being at a comedy show, but then knowing that eventually someone's gonna dump a bucket of cold water on you. Yeah, I'm laughing right now, but where is that water gonna come from, man? I know you're sneaking up somewhere. This is funny now, but I know it's coming around the corner. It's also a bit jarring trying to get a read on what is reality and maybe what is not. There's a lot of stuff that's totally normal, in our normal day-to-day lives, but then there's stuff that's outrageously insane. And so it's tough to get a read on what's normal and what's not in this world, or what's real and what isn't. There's moments where he's just in the store buying groceries and it's just completely normal. And then he steps outside and it's abrupt chaos everywhere. There's people fucking in the streets. There's people with thumbs in other people's eyes rolling around wrestling. And it's yeah, while all this is happening, this dude is gouging his eyes out, while also there's a dude slipping on a banana peel. It's crazy graphic, horrible, disturbing violence with a weird banana peel comedy slip. You see how it's this weird vibe of really legit funny comedy and also horrible weird disturbances blending into this weird. And so sure, it's I don't need all my answers at the beginning. Sure, I don't mind being confused and just waiting for things to play out. And so you wait and you wait, but it's you just keep getting deeper and deeper into that rabbit hole, and you just do not ever see the light of day ever again. You just keep spiraling down until the last minute of this movie. And there are parts in this film where the narrative just rockets down a side alley for an hour. We're going down this way, and then it's just yeah, you know what? And now we're back on our main story. There is this, okay, so visually the scene is unbelievable. There's this play. He starts imagining himself in the play, and then he starts imagining this whole life he could have had, and it's all animated very uniquely, and it's also set in a play, and the stage is changing, and visually it is unbelievable to watch. And it's also unimaginably confusing. And great job by Ari Aster too, because not only is his main character filled with anxiety and kind of having a tough time all of the time, but he gives his audience that feeling as well. The whole movie, I just felt kind of scared and so as an audience member, we feel just as lost and full of anxiety as Beau, as our title character, because it's we as the audience are trying to get a read on what's reality, what is this world that we're being presented, while it's constantly changing and constantly fluctuating and constantly just not giving you any answers. And so let's hit Beau Is Afraid with our overall rating. Beau Is Afraid has some really great acting, and Joaquin Phoenix from start to finish is unbelievable. And not only that, but he's spanning different ages and going on these weird, crazy psychological adventures. His acting is unbelievable the entire film, not to mention his scenes with Patti LuPone, his Beau's mother. Unbelievable. Patti LuPone, really great scenes, really great performance from her. She really knocked my socks off on this one. And as we mentioned before, every single frame of this movie looks beautiful. There isn't a single second of this film that isn't visually stunning, whether that be just from amazing lighting and perfect framing, or this really unique, cool animation and interesting set designs. It's just really great to look at the entire film. And it's also the type of film that really deserves to be rewatched again, because there's so much that you're trying to take in and comprehend that there's no way you're going to be able to take it all in. It's a movie that you have to go back. It's a movie that you got to rewatch after watching it and be all this stuff I didn't even realize was going on the whole time. Take my advice, go into it with a very open mind, go into it not expecting pure disturbing horror, go into it really expecting to see something different and kind of new and unique. Overall, we're going to hit Beau Is Afraid with a B-. That's right, coming in well above average, Beau Is Afraid is a very interesting, very unique film experience, and I highly recommend it, and I highly recommend you go in with an open mind. And if you felt differently about Beau Is Afraid, feel free to comment down below, and if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe, because it definitely helps the show stay alive. I am your host as always, Kyle McLemore, and we'll see you next time at the movie.